Okay, I finally got down to reviewing my Chris Ward C60 Trident 300, which I've been meaning to do for a few years. A bit of a procrastinator. You can see it's the old logo, which I love. Prefer the older logo. I really don't like their new Chris Ward writing on the watch itself. The whole cool thing about this watch was that nobody knew what it was. To me, now you put Chris Ward on it, Christopher Ward on it in letters, and everyone knows what it is. And to me, that detracts from the desire of the watch. So I got one with just the CHR Ward logo, which is better than the new logo. The old logo is my favorite. I wish they would bring that logo back. I think Chris Ward should offer that logo on all of their new watches beside their other logo watches and give the customer a choice. You know, and I think that they will outsell the old logo better. And the reason why this watch sells so well is for the price. I don't think it can be beat. This is a Quartz Ronda 715 movement. So it's not an automatic, but and I think it was about $600 or $700 Canadian funds after all said and done. Probably about 500 US, all said and done. Out of I guess they're made in the Orient somewhere in Asia. It's a British company, but you've read about this watch already, or you've watched YouTube's already. I'm sure this is just another personal addition to the review. To say a couple of my opinions on the watch, what it could be improved. What if you were thinking of this watch? What things you may want to think about, and what you may get you to decide on the watch or go over something else. So one thing I found was this bezel here. It's so good, but if you are able to damage it like I have here, my own fault, I was putting my arm down into a car engine bay and I didn't take my watch off and it scratched, unfortunately. It's got a few other nicks on there you can see as well. So the bezel is I wouldn't say it's fragile, but it's not, it's going to get beat up a little bit if you're not too careful with it. See, there's quite a bit of. So I know it's a quartz. I know it's built to a price point. It is a sapphire crystal, obviously. It's got the markers are applied. But if it had a ceramic bezel, and I know that's a bit of an anomaly on a quartz watch at a built to a price point, but I love quartz watches. I'm a bit of I love automatic watches too, don't get me wrong. But I also love the practicality of a quartz watch. I can let it sit there on the shelf for a month and then pick it up and I don't have to adjust the time or the date. So I love that about quartz watches. I don't care about the watch snobby fellows who say that, a quartz isn't really something that you can be keen about. But it's hard not to be keen on this quartz watch. So under $1,000 Canadian, around $500-600 US. You've seen all this before. I'm just giving you some other looks at it, other points of view. That's my only thing. It's a little bit soft there. The lugs at first bothered me because they're so pointed, but once it's on your wrist, and the strap is on, you don't even notice these pointed edges. It did bother me at first. I like that they have inside there. It's beveled in there underneath the lugs there, so that the band fits. So you can put the band can be higher up, and you don't show so much of the casing underneath the band here. I prefer not to see that area on my watch. That's why I like a metal strap. But I bought one with a rubber strap here. I changed it to a leather strap because my wife That's the hole that she uses. My wife kind of inherited the watch. She loves the watch. It looks great on a woman. This watch, for a dive watch, the robustness, the construction, the look, the quality, the feel, the practicality. It's got 300-meter water resistance, and it's got this bezel that just clicks like a thousands of dollar watch. This bezel could pass for a watch that costs 3 or 4 times the amount. So for a quartz watch, yeah, it's a little bit on the pricey side, but you're getting what you pay for in this watch, in my mind. Yeah, sure. The date window is at the funny position there. It's kind of weird that people complain about that. It's not really in the right spot or whatever. Blah blah blah. Who cares? It makes the watch look unique. It's different. It gives it a very distinct look. I love it. I love that the date is there. I like the date window at 3 o'clock as well. I like it at 6 o'clock. But I don't think that date window there at that funny angle there, and it's kind of in between. I think it just adds character to the watch. And my only complaint is a little bit of soft bezel. So God, and the logo. So if Chris Ward is ever listening to this, this watch with a ceramic bezel. I know it's quartz, but maybe people who want a quartz watch want something a little bit more robust, want something a little tougher, and something not as they want something underground. They want not something known. Like if I'm going to pay that kind of money for a quartz watch, I want it to be unique. I want to be the only one who knows about this watch. I don't want to be advertising the name around so that everyone kind of knows about the watch. I want it to be a bit of a mystery when someone sees the watch on my wrist. They become a little bit curious. What is that kind of watch? It's an amazing looking watch. They have to ask me, or they have to stare at the damn thing and try to decipher what the logo says. But when it says Christopher Ward on there, right on there, it kind of ruins that whole mystique about the watch in my mind. And that's what I love about this underground watch. It's slightly underground, and you can only buy this watch online. You can't go to the store and buy this watch. You can't even buy this watch at an online store. You have to go to the Chris Ward site itself. That's the only place you can buy this watch. And that's what makes it kind of unique in that way. And that's one of the reasons why I love about it. It's a bit of an underground name, underground brand, and it's not too well known. So that's my thoughts on the Chris Ward Trident C60. I love Chris Ward as a company. I think they're offering outstanding values for watches. I don't think they can be beat for the money. There are other designs that maybe someone prefers, or other looks and whatnot, but for quality for your money, I would not hesitate to buy another Chris Ward product. One other thing I should mention, that if I was to replace this bezel, I can't do it. They will not send me a replacement bezel that I can take to my jeweler and have him replace it, or do it myself. They won't send me a bezel. So I have to send this back to them. Maybe if I did do that, I would see if I can get a ceramic bezel put on there. I think that would just be icing on the cake. Yes, I know it's a quartz watch, but that would be the purely functional reason for the durability. As you can see, I put a little nick, a little scratch. It's getting a little bit banged up here, and a ceramic bezel would in most cases keep that from occurring. It's certainly getting a little beat up, and it kind of looks kind of good. A watch that get a little bit bumps and bruises and stuff like that, but I think ceramic would be what I would prefer on this watch, even if it cost me another $100. I think I would pay it. Thanks for watching my review.